Today we're doing like an ultimate Planeswalker ultimate tier list. I'm going to start off with a Johnny Caller of the Pride for 3 mana. We're only going to look at the ultimates around here. -8. Put X, 2/2 white cat creature tokens onto the battlefield, or X is your life total. So if your life total, well, I don't know if you're gonna even have your starting life total by the time you ultimate this thing. Look at it. It only has like a +1. Oh man, that is a long journey to that ultimate. That being said, you will put a gigantic cat army, but they don't even have lifelink themselves. I don't know, a gigantic army in the can. I don't know how to judge this. I think it's okay. You don't win the game on the spot. Frankly, you're like sort of vulnerable, in my opinion. Like if your opponent has a board wipe, like, uh-oh, too close. Too close. Let's back up. I'm gonna get put in the B tier. You put an army on the battlefield that can't even win the game on this turn. You have to pass the turn. Your opponent could just play a board wipe. Just wipe the, board wipe and that's it. You like wasted 5 turns to even ultimate this damn thing in the first place. All right, next up, let's go with Islarf, one of my favorites, the Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. Teferi, very sneaky card. We got a 5 mana, 4 loyalty Teferi. Also, maybe it's important to note the static ability. When you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. Now, -12, target opponent chooses a permanent they control and returns it to its owner's hand. Then they shuffle each non-land permanent they control into its owner's library. I don't understand. Target opponent chooses a permanent they control and return it back to hand. Then they shuffle each non-land. Oh, I see. It's like a one-sided mini. How do I put this? It's like Cyclonic Rift for one person. It actually seems terrible. It's only one opponent, and they get to keep something. This is a terrible Cyclonic Rift. I think, as far as ultimates are concerned, is anything working today? I think as far as ultimates concerned, this is a huge dud. It's a terrible ultimate. I guess the difference, okay, it's not exactly the same as Cyclonic Rift, right? Because all the cards go back to your hand. Here, it's like only one card goes to your hand, and the rest of it is like a board wipe. But I don't see that any different as like a planar cleansing for one person. If you're very draw power, it's not too impossible to get it. To turn it comes down. Holy moly! What are you doing, Islarf? We're gonna be playing like a Time Twister immediately after playing this. How much mana do you have available here? Okay, next up, let's take a look at King Ginger's Johnny Vengeant. More Johnny. We're probably gonna see a lot of Johnnies. We're gonna see a lot of Johnnies. We're gonna see a lot of Teferis. We're gonna see a lot of Jaces. Okay, Johnny Vengeant for 4 mana, 3 loyalty, -7. Destroy all lands target player controls. If it was all lands, all player controls, this might actually it's strong. I would say it's stronger one-on-one than it is in multiplayer because I mean you might even just be tickling the player in multiplayer. With all their mana rocks, they might just recover like as if nothing ever happened. It's cruel. I'll give it A tier. I think it's close, though. Could be B tier easily. Next up, let's look at Reston Serpentines. Liliana Vess. I gotta organize myself better here. Liliana underscore. What's with the underscore? You almost confused me. 5 loyalty. Sorry, 5 loyalty, 5 mana. -8. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. I like that one a lot better. You don't even use any resources. And also, a lot of these creatures, mind you, are going to have a lot of ETBs that are going to influence the opponent, maybe get you some value, draw you some cards that they cannot deal with. Even if they do wipe the board, I think this is going to be a really strong ultimate one way or another. I think this is S tier worthy. I think taking all your opponent's stuff from all graveyards, I think that is I think that is miles better than getting a bunch of 2/2 creatures. So you think of the ETBs, people. You think of the ETBs. And they're using their cards against you. They're using their cards against you. Okay, next up, we'll go with Julian with Ugin the Spirit. Ooh, Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Ugin the Spirit Dragon, 8 mana for 7 loyalty. Minus 10. You gain 7 life, you draw 7 cards, and you put up to 7 permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. This actually makes the Liliana Ultimate seem like a lot crappier. This card is insane. So basically, yeah, it's like Time Twister and Show and Tell, or not Show and Tell, Hypergenesis all in one. Oh, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. S tier. If you don't win the game off of this ultimate, then, well, you're doing something wrong in Magic the Gathering. You're doing something horribly wrong. King Ginger with our first super chat. Thank you so much. Venser the Sojourner. The Sojourner Venser. Okay, 5 mana for 3 loyalty. Minus 8. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, you exile target permanent. Is permanent I'm going to exile? You never know. One-on-one, this is busted. It's absolutely busted. In a multiplayer game, a little less busted. You can only cast so many things. I think this is very strong A tier. Very strong A tier, very weak S tier, in my opinion. Get a little bit of the Sojourner in there. Very, very strong. The casting spell, you're like a little bottlenecked on spells. So you can't cast a million things. So you can only exile so many cards per turn. Now we got Jasper with Abian Luvion. Hold on, Abian Luvion Ursuper. What the hell is this? This is a fake card. Okay, well, what is it anyway? Of 7 mana, 5 loyalty, minus X, you deal X damage to any target. Honestly, pretty weak. Unless it's really easy to build up the loyalty or whatever. Oh, you can actually. So 7 mana. It's a very expensive card. But at the end of the day, this is not going to really win you the game. Or whatever. We'll count this. I'll put it down into the... It's not completely useless. You know, you can kill a creature or something. I'll put it in the C tier category. All right, next up we got Elixir. Thank you so much for your super chat. Tamio Field Researcher. She's out in the field. She's a detective now. Detective Tamio. 4 mana for 4 loyalty. Minus 7. Draw 3 cards. You get an emblem with. You may cast non-land cards in your hand without paying their mana cost. That's busted. Now, I wouldn't expect you to win the game immediately off of just that, but the fact that you can just start chaining cards together like crazy. Oh, I'm just going to play 9 mana, whatever. I imagine you can start winning the game from there. I think that Planeswalker ability is absolutely nuts. S tier. Do not underestimate the power of casting cards without paying their mana cost. I mean, like, imagine if Emrakul was 0 mana. 0 mana! I literally can't read. What was it? Draw 3 cards. You may cast online cards from your hand without paying their mana costs. Did I misread something? What about the last one? You deal X damage to any target. I don't think I've missed anything. Okay, next up. Well, we're going to take a look at Dinglebag's Garruk Apex Predator. Garruk. Okay, this is 7 mana, 5 loyalty, minus 8. Target opponent gets an emblem with whenever a creature attacks you, it gets +5/+5 and gains trample until end of turn. So effectively, so it's like you get a benefit from attacking them if you really want to, but it doesn't really help you so much as it helps everyone beat up one particular person. So I'm not crazy about this ability. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, though. It probably will kill someone. I'll put it in the B tier here. Fill in the B tier. Okay, we got super chats galore now. Okay, the Zai Curran, thank you very much. With Elspeth Knight Errant. Elspeth Knight. 4 mana for 4 loyalty, -8. You get an emblem with artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and lands you control are absolutely indestructible. That means whatever stuff you shoot at it just bounces right off them. They got the heart of steel. And probably the brain of steel, too. But how good is that? Artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and lands you control are indestructible. They don't have protection from bounce. They don't have protection from exile. You know what? It's a strong ability nonetheless. I put in the A tier. I think I put in the A tier. I don't know. Does anyone think this should go in S tier? I don't know if it's that strong. It's good. I think this tier list can be a little bit bigger. There we go. Bigger is better. Pending some things in life. Okay, we got... Let's move on to Algot. Liliana's other contract can transform into a planeswalker that has a useful ability. Liliana's other contract? What is with you and these mystery booster cards? Okay, so we got five mana, and it's got just destroy target creature. This is terrible. This is absolute dog crap. Can we even call that an ultimate? That's the most expensive -4. If you would lose the game instead, well, I don't count those things. Destroy target creature. Most lame of all the, I don't know, I guess it's on par with deal X damage to any target. Except you can't, like, shoot somebody's face. So it's not the most completely useless thing in the world. Next super chat we got from Kagan with the Garadrone Dihada. Whatever the hell that is. Gotta love the old lore ones. You like the lore, huh? Dihada. There we go. Oh, we got 4 mana, 4 loyalty. Protection from permanents with corruption counters on them. All right, 4 loyalty. -7. Gain control of each permanent with a corruption counter on it. How easy is that to pull off? Each opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life. Put a corruption counter on up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker. So probably this is good. Gain control of each permanent with a corruption counter on it. You're just like swiping someone's stuff. I don't know how many times we go plus, 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 minus. So we get to take 3 permanents. A tier. You probably are going to get some good stuff out of all that. Next up. The ultimate I use the most often, Teferi, who slows the sunset. Is that a real card? Is this like another Teferi who slows? This gotta be another mystery booster box, really. Oh, no, it's not. I swear by the name, I thought it was fake. Okay, it's 4 mana for 4 loyalty, -7. You get an emblem with untap all permanents you control during each opponent's untap step, and you draw a card during each opponent's untap step. That is very strong. Not completely game-breaking, though. This is very... What is that Simic card that did that? It's a very strong ability, though. You're basically drawing 3 cards a turn. Also, you know what? Actually, I can't really put this on the same tier as this Ajani. Or maybe we should just boot Ajani down. You just blew up one person's land. You get out of there, Ajani. Upon second thoughts, you are not worthy of this tier, Ajani. You go back down. You're getting kicked down. Sorry, I'm kicking you while you're down. Okay, we got Fornadan, Oko the Trickster. Oko the Trickster, 6 mana for 4 loyalty. -7. Until end of turn, each creature you control has base power and toughness 10/10 and gains trample. Oh my goodness, we're gonna trample over everybody else. But it's 6 mana. 6 mana, put +1/+1 counters. Since when did Oko become like an overrun? We don't need Critterhoof Behemoth. We have damn Oko the Trickster. Ugh. It like all depends on if you even have creatures in play. If you have nothing in play, then it does literally nothing. Which Ajani's do we have so far? Well, look over here. We've got Ajani this, Ajani that. Here, we'll put the Ajanis together. The Ajanis are very B tier. They're very, very B tier. Okay, next up. Oh, you want Sleeper Agent, do you? Okay, Evan wants another Ajani. Ajani Sleeper. You love Ajani Ultimates. Oh, this is the Phyrexianized Ajani for 4 mana, 4 loyalty. -6, you get an emblem with, whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker spell, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. That sounds terrible. You need to, like, really lean in on the poison synergy to make this good. Otherwise, I think this is just, like, a really weird jank type of ultimate. Yeah, you need to play, like, a lot of spells at that point to, like, maybe kill one person. Okay, next up, we got Ikaya. Nissa, who shakes the world. She does shake, doesn't she? Nissa, who shakes. She's a giant. Okay, 5 mana for 5 loyalty. -8, you get an emblem with lands you control. They are now indestructible. Search your library for any number of forest cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Is that it? Well, out of context, that, like, does absolutely nothing.
No, God,
just
please,
absolutely
no.
nothing, right? Lands you control are indestructible. When you tap a forest for mana, add an additional green. You search for any number of forest cards, though, and put it onto the battlefield. That's still strong, though. So if your entire deck is a bunch of forests, basically -8, put, like, 10 or 20 lands onto the battlefield. I can get behind that. A tier. I can get behind that. And also, do you know what, Johnny? You can't even blow up my lands. And there's no shot. They're a huge fan of Nissa. We got a bunch of Nissa fans over here. Christopher B. Urza Planeswalker. Is this the, go... Okay, I thought it was going to be, like, go look this up. Go to askurza.com. Okay, it is a card you magically need to have on the battlefield by merging 2 other cards together. -10, artifacts and planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents. Artifacts, so your stuff is indestructible. You basically blew up the world. Very strong ultimate, to be honest. I think that's a very good one. It's basically, that is better than a Cyclonic Rift. The stuff doesn't even go back to their hand. It's just wiped off the battlefield. And ideally, your stuff is good stuff. I'll put that in the S tier. May not be game ending. I'm hoping it's game ending if you're in an Urza deck. Next up, let's take from the Red Scout, Chandra, Awakened Inferno. We need a Chandra up here. We have no Chandras. 6 mana, 6 loyalty, -X. It's not really an ultimate, right? It deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If a permanent dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. I would really put this in line with, like, just regular removal, spot removal, so I'm going to put that into the C tier. It doesn't even deal to all things, just one thing, right? Onesies, right? Deals X damage to just target creature or planeswalker. Pretty sad, if you ask me. Zai Curran! Jace the Mind Sculptor. One of the most feared, most powerful planeswalkers ever in the game. Now, what is it? It's $18? Probably still overrated. Do people play this in Commander? I guess it's still a fine card in Commander. You draw 2 cards a turn. Okay, 4 mana, 3 loyalty. -12, exile all cards from target player's library. Then that player shuffles their hand into their library. So they lose their hand and they lose basically their entire deck. But what if they have Reliquary Tower out and they have 20 cards in hand? Then what, Jace? What are you gonna do? So it's like sort of a way to win the game, but it doesn't actually win the game immediately. Like, you'll eventually win the game, but you still give your opponent enough turns to counterattack and kill you. So it's like, it's a good ultimate, but it's actually not that great. It's like, okay, you're gonna die in like 3 turns. You're gonna die, Mr. Bond. In a matter of 3 hours, I will give you 3 hours to figure your way out of this. Oh, wait a minute, you killed me. How did that happen? Well, you could have just shot me in the first place. That's basically how Jace the Mind Sculptor works here. Nikachu, he spelled Toys R Us. That's what the spell looks like. What? He's spelled... Well, is that a Planeswalker? Toys are us? Oops. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about here. I thought this was a Planeswalker or something. But you also make them discard their hand. Well, they're going to draw it immediately. One card at a time, I understand. Okay, next up. What are we looking at? Islar, Snissa, Ascended Animist. 7 loyalty, also 7 mana, -7. It's hard to read this card because the background is showing too strong. -7. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 for each forest you control and gain trample. It's like an overrun effect. How many of these overrun effects can I give? What did I give the last overrun effect? That was Oko. Overrun effect, B tier. You got creatures, maybe you win. You don't have creatures, maybe it does nothing. I don't want to say it's like super situational, but like, do you have enough creatures to kill everyone? It's a question. Kagan, thank you so much for your super chat. The first Planeswalker I ever pulled was Lolth Spider Queen. I'm gonna show your age here. Or show how long you've been playing the game for. Wow, not long actually. You're sort of new to the game. Or how long has this been out? Actually, it came out in 2021. Oh my goodness. The years are just flying by. I feel like this just came out last summer. The Dungeons and Dragons set. Okay, 5 mana, 4 loyalty, -8. You get an emblem with whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by one or more creatures you control. If that player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference? That player lost less than 8 life. Oh, I see. So, like, at the very least, you're losing 8 life. What a weird, absolutely weird card. Whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by one or more creatures you control, if the player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference. Okay, yeah, so if I deal 1 damage, it'll deal, like, another 8. Or so it'll deal another 7. So it gets to 8. I don't know. This is so weird. Is it just one source? I don't get this card. The opponent will die eventually. You can say that about any board state with any planeswalkers. We got Hexenort with I may not understand, by the way, this card properly. Maybe this card is stronger. It's like whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by 1 or more. Oh yeah, it's 1 or more. I don't like that. I don't like that. If it was a singular creature, for each creature, if it dealt less than 8, then you deal 8. I could get behind that. Okay, Hexenort. Binder of Wills. Another Dihada. How many Dihadas? I don't even know who a Dihada is, and apparently there's like 3 Planeswalker cards of Dihada. Okay, 4 mana, 5 loyalty, -11. Gain control of all non-land permanents until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. That can be crazy. You swipe everything, but people can see it way ahead of time, right? And they'll just start wailing on you. There's like no way you pull this off easily. I think it's strong if you pull it off. I think it's way too hard though. B tier. Banned in Duel Commander? Oh my goodness. You're banned in Duel Commander, Dihada. Yeah, Dihada Binder of Wills can be your commander. Yeah, it's ultimate tier list, not Planeswalkers, no. The Planeswalker Ultimate. Not the ultimate Planeswalker tier list. Yeah, I'm not judging anything else. I'm not even judging the casting cost all that much. All right, Kay, again, what do you got for us? You got Tavesh, Chat. Doom of Fools. 5 mana, 4 loyalty. -10. Gain control of all commanders. Put all commanders from the command zone onto the battlefield under your control. That is a very strong ability. It's like there is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Your best card in your deck, it's mine now. I can put that in S tier. It's either S or A tier. I can't tell which one is strong. where this one stands, but like gaining control of all commanders. And hold on, it can be partner, right? So gain control of all commanders. So you can even like yoink your other commander, right, and put it directly onto the battlefield. Bell, Dak Faden. The OG? OG Dak Faden. Ugh. This was this white border nonsense. 3 mana, 3 loyalty, -6. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell that targets one or more permanents. Holy moly! Gain control of those permanents. Whenever you cast a spell that targets one or more permanents. Yoink! I'm just gonna yoink all these things from you. But hold on, it's very close to that Sojourner one. And actually, it's a little bit worse because you have to actually target the thing. Yeah, the white border, my eyes. Yeah, we're gonna look at mystery booster cards next week. I'm gonna let you guys all judge if, like, you know, white border or future sight border improved or decreased the value of these types of cards. I target your permanent with Doomblade. Okay, yeah, exactly. Is the target still legal if you, like, took it from them? It's the saddest ultimate Nissa who shakes the world. It's not that sad. And we looked at that one. Nikachu, how do you notice my comments but miss my suggestions? Tasha the Witch Queen. I'm looking at everyone. Tasha the... Well, the last comment that I saw, I don't even think you gave me a suggestion. You said Toys R Us. Alright, Tasha the Witch Queen. 5 mana, 4 loyalty, -3. You may cast a spell from among cards in exile with page counters on them without paying their mana cost. How do we get page counters? Draw a card. For each opponent, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from that player's graveyard and put a page counter on it. So you may cast a spell from among the cards in exile with a page counter on them without paying their mana cost. I think that's just going to be like a good, strong play. It's almost never going to be game winning, unless it's a card that says you win the game, which is very unlikely. I think it's just card advantage, B tier. Might be even worse. Maybe it's C tier. Like, these are all, like, sort of mopey value. Nothing, like, game ending. Yeah, I'll put in the C tier. It's probably strong C tier, weak B tier. The Toys R Us thing is that it's written in the art for Jace. Oh, I didn't see. Don't distract me, chat. Don't distract me. You know, I have a hard enough time understanding what you guys are saying normally. I don't need to be overloaded with sensory information that is not necessary. Okay, Madrog, let's see that you hate white border also. Oh yeah, white border is awful. Back in the day, white border, that was like, I mean, it was clearly half the value of a black border card. Okay, I play him in the same deck as the other Teferi I mentioned, the Teferi's Heroes of Dominaria. Well, let's go take a look at Teferi Hero of Dominaria. Teferi Hero of Dominaria dominating. In a second. There. Oh god, another white border card. Okay, so 5 mana, 4 loyalty. -8. You get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent and opponent controls. And let me tell you, that is insane. So all I have to do is like Wheel of Fortune, Time Twister, Windfall. I mean, it's like basically GG. You'll exile everything that's even remotely important on the battlefield. S tier easily. One of the strongest ultimates. Chetty VT knows it coming. Because it's a Q, actually. You know, I used to try to remember on time when to give the sponsors, but then I missed it constantly, and I realized, you know what, we need a musical cue. It's time to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. Bloomburrow's out for your buying pleasure. Get your, what is it, like hamsters. They got all sorts of rodents here. We got frogs. We got a bat. What is that? A rabbit. Badger. Upgrade your standard and commander decks with Bloomburrow. Also, the deal of the week. There's always a new deal of the week every single week at FusionGamingOnline.com. This one you don't want to miss because you save up to 50% off hundreds of items on sale. Now, my coupon code probably doesn't work on this because that is such an insane blockbuster deal of 50% off. But outside of those gigantic sales, use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. And it also helps to support the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Why would you want to do that? Well, if you want to play as many decks as possible on Magic Online, it's cheaper. If you're afraid your cards are going to get banned out of existence, well, your cards aren't going to get banned. Mana Traders cards are going to get banned. So it's a ban list saver. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_25K. And back to our ultimate tier list, which is ultimately crazy. Why can't you do the sponsor segment at the start? Because I gotta draw people in, Algot. You know, if you ever start a video and start going off for 2 minutes with sponsors, people hate that too. But when I got you in the middle, where are you gonna go? You're going nowhere. You're going absolutely nowhere. 100% of you saw that sponsored segment. You're probably already in the middle of washing your dishes, and you're like, well, I'm not going to take my gloves off or anything. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... Who hasn't got one here? I was robbed! We didn't see Nissa Who Shakes the World. We did see Nissa. Isn't this one? This is Nissa Who Shakes the World. A tier. We got it. Okay, Henrik, Nicol Bolas, Planeswalker. Aren't, like, most of the Nicol Bolas' Planeswalkers? Well, I guess this is the first time came in Planeswalker form. 8 mana, 5 loyalty. -9. Nicol Bolas deals 7 damage to target player. That player discards 7 cards, then sacrifices 7 permanents. I'm sorry, yeah, it sucks to be you. Basically, it says one player's about to lose this game. It's a very strong ultimate. It can't win ultimately in Commander, so I'm going to put in the A tier. Because you're only basically screwing with one person. Next up, King Ginger, the Teferi, the Master of Time. Okay, 4 mana, 3 loyalty, -10. Take 2 extra turns after this one. I'm not gonna say that one is absolutely nuts. 2 turns, especially with a Time Walker, that you can activate loyalty abilities at any time on any player's turn, including your own. This is very, very... 2 extra turns in 1 ultimate. S tier, A tier, S tier. Teferi, you're broken. Give you A tier. It's basically like draw 2 cards, get 2 attack steps. Maybe that's enough to win the game. Maybe it's not. Yardi, Jace Architect of Thought. That's a weird one. Get the best card of the library every time. 4 mana, 4 loyalty. A -8 for each player. Search that player's library for a non-land card and exile it. Then that player shuffles. You may cast those cards without paying their mana cost. That is a good price. That is a very good price. There's no telling you can win the game off of that, though. But you know what? Actually, it's probably strong enough that it's S tier. Very, very, very strong. It is exactly the 3 best possible cards in everybody's deck. Like the absolute 3 best possible. Okay, what else do I have to say about this card? Yeah, and you can play it for free. Sheelan says, a card with no ultimates was put on the list. Tasha, the Witch Queen, has no ultimate. Hey, it had -3. Well, I don't know what we're going to call that. That was a big minus. What do we have, like, a definition for the minus? I'm going to put Tasha. I don't mind. It's okay. Okay, next up, let's put Elternia Productions with Davriel. The Soul Broker. Oh, one of these fake cards. What is this? A historic arena jumpstart card. What is it gonna do? Put a bunch of fake cards in our hand, conjure them in. Okay, look, 4 mana, 4 loyalty, -3. Target creature an opponent controls perpetually gets -3/-3. This is terrible. Target creature You are forever shrunken. C tier. So far, we haven't seen an ultimate that's like downright worthless. Ultimate might be -X, where X is greater than or equal to the starting life total. You know what? I don't care. Okay, Algot. Luxior Ignited. It's a very fancy name, I must say. Another mystery booster card. 4 mana, -2. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and gains double strike until end of turn. Alright! It's a legendary artifact Planeswalker equipment. What the hell nonsense is this? D tier. You could get blown up too by artifact destruction. Anyone not got a card yet? I don't know. Maybe Steve Cooper hasn't got one. Sarkhan Dragon Soul. Okay, we got 6 mana for 5 loyalty. -9. Search your library for any number of dragon cards. That's gonna be a lot of them. Put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Oh, okay. Well, that's crazy. There's gotta be a combo win, right? There's like no way that doesn't combo win. Search your library for any number of dragon cards. There's gotta be like a you can also get what's it called? You can get the changelings. You can get Morophon. That has got to be like an I win moment. I mean, I don't know what the win is, but I'm pretty sure like you probably just give a bunch of stuff haste and then like, I don't know, win on the spot or get infinite turns or something like that. Fruit Kid says, you forgot about the most important planeswalker, us, the player. We're technically a walker. Oh yeah, you're funny guy, Fruit Kid. You're a funny guy. Unfortunately, we have not been conjured into a card, at least not outside of an unset. Ugly Robot with Teo. Aegis Adept. More of these. We have so many like mystery booster and now arena exclusive cards on this show. 4 mana for 4 loyalty, -6. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, return target white creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You gain life equal to its toughness. This is awful. All that for 1 reanimation? D tier. I think it's sad. I just think it's sad. That's all. Next up, we got Kagan with a super chat. Thank you so much. With Jared Carthalion. Let's just call him Jared, since Binder of Wills is done. Okay. Wooburg, 5 loyalty, -6. Return target multicolored card from your graveyard to your hand. If that card was all colors, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens. This is actually in line with this last card. It's like, this is not very influential in my opinion. I'm going to put that in the D tier. It's worse because this card, this Planeswalker puts the card in hand and you do nothing. And the other one reanimated. Oh, did Teo reanimate every turn? You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, return. Oh! You know what? I could boost this one up. There we go. We'll go to the C tier. C tier. You know what? You guys are right. Reanimation every turn, that's worth more than once a turn. Anyway, this Carthalion card is just awful. I did misread that card. I did. It was a mistake by me. You know, I gotta take the L here and there. Should make arena cards against the rules or just super. Yeah, you must super. I've done that in some cases. If you want the silver border card on, you have to super chat. Silver border cards aren't gonna get by me so easy. Merc Archer, Sorin of Innistrad. We don't have any Sorins on here. Was the core of my deck back in Innistrad's Standard. 2011 was good that was good clean magic back then. 4 mana for 3 loyalty, -6. Destroy up to 3 target creatures and or other planeswalkers. Return each card put into a graveyard this way onto the battlefield under your control. See, that's 3 creatures, 1 turn. I can get behind that. B tier. It's not so slow. You get 3 good creatures, by the way. 3 great ones. Okay, Banovsky. Got Tybalt. You want to put a Tybalt on this show. The Fiend-Blooded. I can't remember. Does it have a good ultimate? -6. Gain control of all creatures until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. Honestly, not terrible. I mean, I can actually get behind this creature. You get everything all at once. And it's a 2-mana Planeswalker. Good luck getting up to there, but, yeah, it's not bad, to be honest. It's not bad. You could win the game on the spot over there. And it's not like people are going to be happy about shooting down their creature to defend themselves from you. Okay, next up. Scudiver with Cura. The Tide's Fury. Oh, this is a historic card? Okay, 4 mana, 4 loyalty, -3. You may sacrifice a Kraken. If you do, create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token. Honestly, pretty... not very impressive. Is this like an altered version? I could have swore I've seen this art before. Like in a non-digital form. Okay, C tier. Okay, next up, we're gonna have Super Chat from Callansus. Thank you very much. In Zerva, Master of Insights. What the hell casting cost is this? So it's like, it's either red, blue, 1 generic, or it can be 5 colorless for 4 loyalty. It's some sort of dragon planeswalker. -4. You can play the ultimate immediately. You get an emblem with your opponents play with their hands revealed, and whenever an opponent draws a card, this emblem deals 1 damage to them. That is interesting. So if you follow this up with, what's it called? Like, wheels, effectively. Maybe you can, like, ping them down to death. You can't hide anything from me. I can see everything. I'll still put in the C tier. So it's like, it's pretty useful. I like it. Okay, next up. We'll get one from Danny. Danny Luo. What about Arlen Cord? What about Arlen? Does she even have an ultimate? I think she's got no ultimate. Oh, there is an ultimate. All right, Arlen Cord, unfortunately, on the front is nothing for 4 mana. But transforms into Arlen, Embraced by the Moon. -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control have haste and tap. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. So basically, your stuff is unblockable, effectively. Okay, it's not bad. B tier. Kagan, huge sponsor of the show, apparently. This card probably wouldn't count, but Garrick the Slayer. Any relation to Buffy? If I recall correctly, this was a card you had to fight as a challenge thing. I have no idea even how to find this thing. Garrick the Slayer? Oh, okay, we did find it. Well, we'll count. If I can search it up on Scryfall, it is all fair game. 20 loyalty, -20. It's so close to ultimating too. Destroy all creatures. Garrick the Slayer doesn't count. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry. No. Destroy. That sounded like an AI generated card. Destroy all creatures. Garrick the Slayer doesn't control. Okay, that's well, that is insane. Garrick's big head. That CGI head. Where do I rate this? Destroy all creatures. Garrick the Slayer doesn't control. Garrick the Slayer is sentient. Garrick the Slayer is literally a player in the game. A tier. Very strong ultimate. Yeah, I also read doesn't count at first. Brightsteel, where's Brightsteel? Brightsteel Colossus, Frail Eyes. The Sky Shroud Partisan. How many of you love Arena? Like, you're big historic players, because, I don't even know these cards exist. Maybe we have to have some sort of show like, I don't know, paper, magic, competitive player rates, digital busted cards, or something like that. 3 mana for 4 loyalty, -6. Conjure a card named Regal Force onto the battlefield. You only get it once, too. Regal Force, 7 mana for a 5/5. ETB, draw a card for each green creature you control. It's okay. It's good value. This is like one of those just really strong value cards. It's basically -6, draw a big pile of cards, which I can get behind. B tier. Draw a bunch. Who hasn't got a card yet? No card yet so far this show. I don't think Tiger got a card. I only play Paper Commander. Good for you. You don't have to deal with that digital nonsense. We got Tear. Oh, what a cute avatar you have, Tear. Kiora. Master of the Depths. Kiora goes deep. Okay, we got 4 mana. There's octopuses if you get deep enough into that ocean. 4 loyalty, -8. You get an emblem with whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature, then put 3 8/8 blue octopus creature tokens onto the battlefield? That's crazy. So basically, play a creature, you get 3 8/8s. Everything you play is a 3 8/8 now. A tier. That's very strong. And potentially you can fight stuff. Hold on. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature, then put 3 8/8 blue octopus creature tokens onto the battlefield. But then, do those 8/8s trigger it too? Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature, then put 3 8/8s. I don't get it. It looks like it goes infinite. Doesn't it go infinite? You can activate the... You'll have an emblem by the time the octopus creature tokens enter the battlefield. They'll be looking to fight. It's like, make 3 8/8s not part of the emblem. Oh! I see, yeah, the quotation ends. Okay, so, like, we get the emblem, and then we get 3 8/8s. Well, it's still strong. You know what? It's not as strong as I thought it was going to be, though. Okay, I'm going to put a B tier. I thought we got an 8/8 every single time we cast a spell. That is... If we just only get 3 8/8s, I mean, it could be wiped by a... That can just be wiped off the face of the earth, as far as I'm concerned. Jay's like, that's not part of the emblem. All right, well, I thought it was all an emblem. Look, at the -8. I thought when did we go -8, we get everything. What kind of ultimate is this? I want more Krakens around here. Elixir. How about a headache? Jace, Cunning Castaway. Oh, is this the... make a copy of itself? Yeah, -5. Create 2 tokens that are copies of Jace, Cunning Castaway, except they're not legendary. Here's the best thing about being me. There's many of me. What are the +1s? Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage this turn, draw a card, then discard a card. D tier. I can't remember. There are some ways of breaking this Planeswalker, if I remember correctly. Because it can also make a -2 blue illusion. So I think if you can get Jace to enter the battlefield with double the counters, then you go infinite with this. But like outside of comboing, then this card sucks. It's just terrible. What happened to your clothes, Jace? What happened to your clothes? If it's so hot out there, just take the rest of them off. Yeah, doubling season, like, go combos with this. Who doesn't get a card yet? I can't tell who has a card, who doesn't. I don't think Dadam Draw's got a card. Karn Liberated. It's an interesting one. It's like, you got like a last resort, -14. Restart the game, leaving it in exile. All non-aura permanent cards exiled with Karn Liberated. Then put those cards on the battlefield under your control. To be honest, I've rarely seen anyone use this ultimate before. It's strong, though. I mean, like, it has to be good. It has to be S tier. Because you're sort of in control of the game. Like, either I'm going to win, or we are resetting this damn thing under my favorable conditions. So I think it has to be S tier level, S tier power. Vex 17, no card yet. With Ral Crackling Wit. That's a witty card, Ral is. Is this a unique Planeswalker? Like, is Ral literally an otter? I thought these were like alternate art cards of cards that exist. Look at this, Ral's pretty cute over here too. Okay, -10. Draw 3 cards, you get an emblem. With instant and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. Holy moly! Everything has Storm now. That's gotta be good. That's gotta be S tier too. Card draw is like, draw a bazillion. Utterly new Planeswalker. Toilet Duck, Narset Transcendent. Four mana, 6 loyalty, -9. You get an emblem with your opponents can't cast non-creature spells. That's also absolutely incredibly insane. One ability locks out like a huge chunk of your opponent's cards. S tier. Easy S tier. Okay, Damon with, I haven't got a card. Chandra, Beacon of Hope. Not to be confused with Chandra, Bacon. Okay, is it? Oh, I think you mean Chandra Hope's Beacon. Okay, 6 mana for a 5 loyalty, -X. Deals X damage to each of up to 2 targets. It's sad. Not particularly too strong. I'll put it with the other Chandras over at the bottom. Unfortunately, Chandra doesn't have very strong ultimates, does she? A Blackbird with Vraska, Golgari Queen. The Queen of the Golgari. -9, you get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game! RP to everybody who died to the Vraska ultimate. Seems easy enough, too. I all we have to do is get the ultimate online. S tier! Strong ultimates. This plus the Ajani ultimate that gave you a bunch of 2/2 cats. GG. Just go wide for the win. Jay, you didn't get a card yet? Okay, Liliana Dread Horde General. 6 mana, 6 loyalty. -9. Each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest.
No! God, please, no!
I don't think that's that good. It's like a board wipe, but you let your opponent, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacks the rest. They get to keep a lot of stuff on the battlefield. I think this is very very, very weak on the grand scheme of things. Maybe I'll put in the B tier. You still wipe the... it's somewhere between B and C. Some people aren't even going to be affected by this. They're just going to not even blink. Okay, Kagan. Chandra, Dress to Kill. Maybe not C tier. Okay, 3 mana, 3 loyalty, -7. Exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may cast red spells from among them this turn. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a red spell you get an emblem with whenever you cast a red spell, this emblem deals X damage to any target where X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Yeah, it's sort of poopy, to be honest. You still even have to cast the cards that you exile the top 5. You don't get to play them for free. So I would say it's like a very C tier like card. In grand scheme of things. Cormanic! Tamio, the Moon Sage. Okay, 5 mana, 4 loyalty, -8. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size, and whenever a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you may return it back to your hand. That is insane value. Now, it doesn't necessarily win the game on the spot, but I can imagine a lot of great cards that you would want to loop over and over again. That is easily an A tier. It could be S tier. I might be underestimating this card. Ability to play something over and over and over and over again. Okay, who has... Furkinka doesn't get a card yet. Vraska. The Unseen. Is that true, Vraska? I think you're seen all over the place. Very well known in the Golgari parts. 5 loyalty for 5 mana. Sorry, 5 mana for 5 loyalty. -7, create 3 1/1 black assassin creature tokens. They be assassinating over here. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. It's sort of strong, but the problem is, it's not like those creatures have evasion. Therefore, I don't think it's actually that big of a deal. Strong enough that it is a danger. Like, hey, 3 1/1s with super death touch. It danger! Should also kill planeswalkers upon, like... So that is so weird. Does it kill planeswalkers? When this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. But if he deals damage to a planeswalker, it loses 1 loyalty. Like, how much sense does that make? Makes absolutely no sense. David! Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh. We got 4 mana for 4 loyalty. -6. You get an emblem with whenever an artifact you control becomes tapped, you draw a card. That's like, oh, that is a lot of value. It's a super value card. Easy A tier. I could see this being an S tier level card. Obviously, when you play Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh, it's gonna be in a deck with a lot of artifacts. Julian, Mu Yanling. Ooh, Mu Yanling. The Mu Yanling. -10. Tap all creatures your opponents control. You take an extra turn after this one. This is awful. I mean, the problem is, like, in a blue deck, I don't know how well you're gonna, like, take advantage of this type of ability. So it's basically just -10, take an extra turn. It's gotta be a little bit stronger than that. It's like, take an extra turn and take a free swing at somebody. C tier. Very close to giving it D tier. Very, very close. Already have a card, but I'd like the Morden Canaan. That's fine. Morden Canaan. Did I spell that right? 6 mana, 5 loyalty, -10. Exchange your hand in library. Holy crap! Then shuffle. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size. If you haven't won the game, you will soon. S tier. Super S tier. Will Anderson, Deathrite Shaman. That's not a planeswalker. Sheelan, Ajani, Mentor of Heroes. It's not on the list yet. Will be in a minute. You gain you gain 100 life. What are you gonna do with all that life over there? I think this is terrible. There's a D tier level card. Literally has no impact on the game except, like, keeping your head above water. The only time I wish I have 100 life is when I'm at, like, 5 life. Tiger is like, Sheelan, hopefully we can get our Ajani Mentor of Heroes in under the bell. Oh, yeah, don't worry, we got it. We're in there. Did we do Vraska Sting, Betrayer's Sting? I don't think we have. Vraska Betrayal Sting. Current standard staple. Okay, it's 6 mana, 6 loyalty, -9. If target player has fewer than 9 poison counters, they get a number of poison counters equal to the difference. It's a good card. Does not actually win the game. It's just like, it's just a bunch of danger. That's all. You're like, well, it's like you put target player's life total to like 1. So like it deals a lot of damage. So I'll put it in the B tier, but not quite to the point where, you know, they're dead lost. Okay, Kagan, I'll stop with Jace, the Perfected Mind. How perfect Jace is. 4 mana, 5 loyalty, minus X. Target player mills 3 times X cards. Yeah, it's sort of poopy overall. Like, there are mill decks that play this competitively. Outside of that, I don't think this is... Like, this card looks terrible. Absolutely terrible in Commander. 3 times X cards. Oh no, 19 cards going into my graveyard. Or maybe you helped me build my graveyard. Simon with Ashiok Nightmare Muse. Okay, we got 5 mana, 5 loyalty, minus 7. You may cast up to 3 face-up cards your opponents own from exile without paying their mana costs. It's like it's like graveyard recursion. It's 3 cards, but the problem is, it's so hard to get your opponent to exile cards that I think this is just way worse than graveyard recursion. So I'll put it C tier. I honestly don't think it's really easy to pull off. I want to put it in D tier, but if you do pull it off, it's gonna be great. Julio, what about Nicol Bolas, Dragon God? Did we do this one? Maybe we didn't. No, we didn't do the Dragon God. Where's a god-like sound effect here? Minus 8. Each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or planeswalker loses the game. Holy moly! Each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or planeswalker. How good is that? Even in Commander. I mean, this could kill somebody. It also might do nothing. I think it's strong. It either is A tier or S tier, but some assembly required. You got to make sure the board is clear to really have any effect. But you could potentially kill everyone at once, right? Maybe you like just slap everyone dead in one shot because it's each opponent. It doesn't even count you, which is funny. You could end up having no Nicol Bolas in response to it resolving. Ecos! What do you got for us, Ecos? I love Dovin, Hand of Control. Embargo Super Friends slows down the game while being a non-threatening, so it's not attacking that often. EDH plus donate. Oh, is this like... Yeah, there's like no ultimate on this thing. -1 until your next turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to and dealt by target permanent and opponent controls. I have no doubt that this has some utility. Especially when someone has their commander out. C tier. So it has a... Actually, it might be a little bit better than C tier. His passive too. Well, we're not judging passives today. The passives is great. No doubt about that. Okay, let's donate to 1, 2... Don't think Dimitri got one. Sarah the Benevolent. Ugh, white border. 4 mana, 4 loyalty, -6. You get an emblem with, if you control a creature, damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. It's not bad. Problem is, there's a lot of ways around this. But, I mean, as long as you have that 1 life and you got that emblem, you ain't dying. B tier. You gotta win the game with, I don't know, with Vraska or something. Or Nicol Bolas. You just drain your opponent's life for 2, and that's good enough. Anyone else? Yeah, worship, but you can't remove it. It's true. You can't remove this. Just gotta make your opponent lose some life some way. Did we do Jared? I think we did Jared already. Jared, Carthillion. Yeah, we did Jared already. Jared was done. Did we do Frail Eyes? Llanowar... Llanowar's Fury. What is this, a pirate? It's a pirate elf? Okay, 5 mana, 3 loyalty, -6. Draw a card for each green creature you control. Gotta cash in on your creatures. You sold them out, Frail Eyes. I feel like this is the wife to, Snake Plissken. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But this is the wife to Snake Plissken. Well, you get some good value. Whatever, B tier. Probably some good value. I've drawn a bunch of cards off Frail Eyes. Yeah, I'm sure you have. Christopher B is like, you want a stinky one? Okay, let's hear about a stinky one. Nihiri the Lithomancer. This one is 5 mana, 3 loyalty, -10. Create a colorless colorless equipment artifact token named Stoneforge Blade. It has indestructible. Equipped creature gets +5/+5 and has double strike. Equipped for 0. It's not terrible. So it creates is it indestructible? Colorless. It has it's an indestructible equipment that you can pay for 0 and gives something +10/+10. It is not the worst thing I've seen in the world. Really hard to interact with. I can put it in the C tier. Like, even if you interact with the creature, well, you gotta deal with the equipment next turn, right? All the Nihiris are stinky. They're all basically smiths. They're all, what's it called? A locksmith? Combos with Nadu, I guess. Yeah, there you go. Combos with Nadu. We broke Nihiri, fellas. We broke Nihiri. Okay, Julian with Will Kenrith. We'll keep the show going until we hear, you know, the Wii Sports music. Okay, 6 mana for 4 loyalty. -8. Target player gets an emblem with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. It's possible you'll get nothing, though. Target player gets an emblem with whenever you cast an instant, copy it, you get... Wait, you want to give this emblem to somebody? That's so weird. Target player gets an emblem with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for... So you can give this to somebody else. That's so bizarre. I think it's weak though. C tier. Nadu players get no respect. No, they're getting a lot of respect. They're getting maybe too much respect at this point. What else? I'll stick to either, for my reason, Archangel Elspeth. Or Bob. I don't think we're going to do Bob. 4 mana, 4 loyalty, -6. Return all non-land permanent cards with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Could be good, actually. Could be good. There might even be combos involved with this card. It's either, like, low B tier... Sorry, it's either high B tier or low A tier. I'm gonna be on the careful side. I'm sure this contradicts something. Did anything else bring back stuff from the graveyard here? I know this one did, but that's like everything. It's like literally everything. I'll put it in the B tier anyway. Agatone, Kashima, Enigma Sage. Is that like a -1? Kashima, Enigma. I swear this is like one of those -2s. Get a 2/2 Drake or something. I don't think there's enough Enigma cards here. Enigma Sage. Oh. It's not. Okay, -8. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card that shares a color with this Planeswalker. Exile that card, then shuffle. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. This has gotta be awful.
No! God, please, no!
Search your library for an instant or sorcery card. Unless it says I win the game. It can't be that good. It's just a tutor. -8 for a tutor. And play it for free? C tier. It's just a tutor, that's all it is. And at that point, if you have -8, you probably have a lot of mana at that point. Or can this combo off of another... is there a way of comboing with this? +2 scry 1. Oh my god, the rest of this thing, it really sucks. Each other Planeswalker you control has the loyalty abilities of Casino. Oh, that's interesting. I guess that's the bonus. You play other Planeswalkers to hit that ultimate first. Next up, Baby Jace. Which one? What is it? Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Who's Vryn? Anyway, this is not the card we're going to evaluate. It's the other side. -9, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, target opponent puts the top 5 cards of their library into the graveyard. This is terrible. As far as a Planeswalker ultimate, you have a lot of work to do before you actually win the game. There's a lot of Jaces in the D tier. This is our 3rd Jace. Jace, you used to be one of the most feared Planeswalkers in all of the multiverse, and here you are just hanging out in D tier over here. D tier club. Michael Ang, Oko 3-drop. Is there only one? Is it like Oko Thief of Crowns? 3 mana, 4 loyalty. -5. Exchange target artifact or creature you control and target creature an opponent controls with power 3 or less. That is so bad. It's like, it's terrible. You'll do the old switcheroo. I mean, yeah, you can give him a food token, but this is a very, very weak ability in the grand scheme of things. D tier. We did Oko Thief? Nope, not yet. Here we go. D tier. We did Oko the Trickster. We didn't do Oko Thief of Crowns. Christopher B trying to get another one on here. Chandra Blaze. 6 mana, 5 loyalty. -7. Cast any number of red instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard without paying their mana cost. Now that is insane. That's strong. No guarantee you win the game, but that's a lot of value. On top of that, you can like build your graveyard to a point where you're basically casting your entire deck. Maybe that is good enough. Maybe I will put that in the S tier. Casting your entire graveyard is insane. Yeah, it's you're the second person, Maddie. Oh, it's a tier list about ultimates. LOL. I thought it's the ultimate, as in the be-all, yeah, Planeswalker list. No, I should call it the. Maybe I should rename the show the Ultimate Planeswalker Ultimate Tier List. Here, do you know what? To stop the confusion, I'll rename it right now. The Ultimate. Oh, whoops. The Ultimate Planeswalker Ultimate Tier List. There. It's been changed. Hopefully we get less confusion now. We already got 2 people confused. Nikachu, they're like, what the hell is going on here? This tier list is so messed up. Completely messed up. I mean, don't you remember how hated this dude was the Elkening? Oh yeah, well, what's it called? Oko was it danger, not for the -5. It was more for the +2 and +1, and mostly in one-on-one games. Oh yeah, the +1 is insane. It's basically Beast Within every single turn. Wow, look how banned he is! Holy crap! Maybe the most banned card in the game. Congratulations, Wizards, you've outdone yourselves. Toads wants Obnixilis. Which one? Obnixilis when? I have no idea which one you mean, so I'm just gonna put the Obnixilis, the adversary. 3 mana, 3 loyalty, -7. Target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life. That's awkward. You might draw those cards, but then your life total takes a hit. But 7 cards is still 7 cards. You gotta spend blood to make money. I guess B tier. It's like Obnixilis did a little blood donation. They instead of giving him a cookie, he got the whole bag. What else here? What, did you just get it too? Oh, Ultimates! I thought it was a Planeswalker. LOL, hence my dove in chat. No, it's an Ultimate Planeswalker tier list. Dustin with a Johnny Caller of the Pride. Oh, we did that one. That was actually the first one that we did. Where did it go? It went B tier. Put a bunch of 2/2s right on the battlefield. William! Is the Grizzlebrand ability? Is it the Grizzlebrand is not a Planeswalker. Grizzlebrand is a creature. Duck wants Wrenn and 6. -7. You get an emblem with instant and sorcery spells in your graveyard have retrace. Convert those lands into any card you want into your graveyard over and over again. If If you ask me, that is... I've actually lost to that ultimate so many times. I'll put that in the A tier. Well, that's it. That's our tier list. Maybe this would make more sense if people understood the point of the show in the first place. I thought it was self-explanatory, but you know what? If anyone showed up in the middle, maybe it was a little bit confusing. You know, I hope it was partially entertaining out of your confusion. And as usual, we do this show 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or you super chat so other people are part of the show. And thanks so much to the coffee crew for being here today. People like Toads, Maddie, Julian. We got Julian, Scott Free, Christopher B, Crocorn Games, Steve Cooper, Toads Williams, Ikaya. Who else do we have? Dimitri, Maddie Madsen, Tiger. Because you guys, Michael Ing, because you guys are the show. As usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.